All right, get this. What if an ancient practice, something thousands of years old, could actually tap into the wild world of quantum physics? And not just anywhere, but inside your own cells. That's exactly what we're diving into today. Qigong's quantum secret. So, here's the big question, right? Can a practice like Qigong really have an effect on the quantum realm that's humming away inside of us? I mean, it sounds a little out there, but you might be surprised by where the evidence points.
The material we're looking at today suggests the answer is a pretty strong yes. It actually draws a line, a direct one, from that ancient idea of qi, you know, that life force energy, to the hardcore physics that powers our bodies. To really get it, we gotta start with the science.
And that brings us to our first stop, a truly bizarre but absolutely vital concept from quantum physics. It's called quantum tunneling, and it turns out you wouldn't be alive without it. So what on earth is quantum tunneling? Okay, imagine you're standing in front of a solid brick wall. In our world, you have to climb over it, right? But in the quantum world, a particle can just kinda poof, appear on the other side. It's like it teleported right through a barrier that should have been impossible to cross.
And here's the kicker, why this actually matters for you and me. If the electrons inside our cells had to play by the normal rules, hopping over every single energy barrier, life would be way, way too slow to even exist. Instead, they take this amazing quantum shortcut, tunneling through those walls to generate energy at, well, unbelievable speeds.
And let me be clear, this is not just some weird, abstract idea. This is happening right now in every single one of your cells, inside these tiny little engines called mitochondria. You probably remember them as the powerhouses of the cell. And it turns out they're powered by a quantum phenomenon.
So how fast are we talking, really? Well, thanks to this quantum trick, a single mitochondrion, just one, can pull off about 1 billion electron transfers every single second. That's not just some crazy number, that's the speed of life happening inside you right now.
So we've got this incredible quantum engine running inside us. But what happens when that engine starts to break down? Well, this is where things get really interesting, drawing a direct line between quantum physics and how we age.
Okay, so the research calls this the vicious cycle of aging, and it's a real downward spiral. It all kicks off when the proteins in our mitochondria get damaged and bent out of shape. That makes the distance an electron has to tunnel just a tiny bit bigger. The problem is tunneling is super sensitive to distance, so that tiny gap makes the efficiency plummet. This causes electrons to leak, creating these nasty molecules called reactive oxygen species. Think of it like toxic cellular exhaust. And what do? They cause even more damage. And the cycle just keeps going, getting worse and worse.
It's kind of a bleak picture, I know, but this brings us full circle. If aging is linked to a breakdown in this quantum process, is it possible a practice like Qigong could help, retune the whole system?
Well, modern science has actually measured some very real things happening in the body during Qigong. The practice flips the switch on our relaxation response. It boosts blood flow and oxygen to our tissues, and it can even change the electrical properties of our skin. That feeling of warmth people often report, that's directly linked to your blood vessels opening up. These are all measurable physical changes.
And this leads us to the central idea, the core hypothesis here. The theory goes that by creating this perfect internal environment, less stress, better circulation, less damage, Qigong might just be setting the stage for our body's own natural quantum tunneling to work as efficiently as possible.
Now, this idea is bigger than just Qigong. It really gives us a whole new way to think about the entire aging process itself, a new code, if you will.
And it's not just this one practice. Think about all the other things we know are good for us. Exercise, fasting, eating foods with antioxidants. What do they all have in common? They all help protect the physical structure of our mitochondria. You could say they're all, in their own way, helping to maintain the perfect setup needed for that efficient quantum tunneling.
So here's the big takeaway. What if aging isn't just about simple wear and tear? What if it's actually a slow, steady loss of the incredibly precise quantum tuning that makes our biology work so darn well in the first place?
So let's just lay it all out, nice and simple. Quantum tunneling is what gives us that lightning-fast energy. Healthy mitochondria are the perfectly built stage for this to happen. Aging is when that stage starts to fall apart, which makes tunneling less efficient. So, what's anti-aging? It's really about protecting the stage, preserving that mitochondrial structure to keep our quantum health in check.
So that leaves us with this one big, kind of mind-bending question to chew on. Is aging really about the number of years you've been alive? Or is it more about losing your body's fundamental quantum tune? Something to think about. Thanks for digging into this with me.